What's up, crypto geeks, and welcome to another exciting video. I'm super excited to bring this video to you. We're going to be talking today about a settlement and what it would really take for a settlement and how soon will we likely hear of a settlement. Before I start, I do ask that please click that like and subscribe button. You're really helping me out, helping promote this video and this channel so that I can continue to create content that you enjoy. With that, I'm not a financial or a legal advisor, so I'm not trying to give you any financial or legal advice, just giving you my own personal opinion. You always have to do your own research. Before we even start, the price of XRP today is sitting about 83 cents, 82 cents, in that range. Bitcoin at about 35, Cardano 145. Now today I'm going to focus on my own sort of analysis and what I think is actually happening behind the scene, because we've seen a lot of documents, and even in my videos I've talked about these last documents that have come out, kind of where they're heading, what they mean. And if you haven't watched those videos, you should, because I have discussed every single document and its significance in what is going to happen in the near future. But almost in every single one of my documents, I've mentioned the big possibility of a settlement. In fact, almost everyone will tell you right now that we're closest to a settlement now than we had ever been throughout this lawsuit. And the reason that we say that, or that we're seeing this come into fruition and come into reality, is because the positions of both Ripple and SEC have shifted. Initially, at the very beginning of this lawsuit, a lot of people assumed that the SEC had big evidence against Ripple. In fact, they thought that they had big paperwork from major exchanges proving that SEC XRP was a security and that Ripple knew all along. What has been happening over the last couple of weeks, maybe even the last couple of months, is that Ripple has shown that they are in fact confident of the fact that they're not a security, and they've shown that really the SEC has lacked any sort of evidence. So the SEC has come into this lawsuit without any preparation. And the reason that the SEC, and this is shown from the last few documents is more specifically, again, if you haven't seen those, you can see the videos, but the SEC has shown that they really have not come prepared. In fact, the last couple of documents has been the SEC requesting more time to prepare for this lawsuit, when in fact they had 2.5 years and about 6 months since that lawsuit was officially filed. But then the SEC is saying we need more information to speak to some of our partners. We need to get some information from international agents and international public entities from other countries in order to try and prove that Ripple is a security. What's even made it more clear that a settlement or potentially a loss for the SEC is imminent is Ripple's confidence in their security. And in fact, Ripple is the one that's now seeking exchanges globally to send information to the court system that is handling this case. So when a company goes out and tells these major exchanges in China and throughout the world to send over all of their sales, that proves that they're confident in that those sales were of currency rather than security. Moreover, we've seen the fall of a lawyer from the SEC, regardless of what the reason you think is behind that. We've seen the SEC rejection for more than, I believe it's 5 motions that the SEC has lost up to this point, discovery motions. And we have seen the SEC be caught in declining and refusing to follow court orders, which is going to hurt them very much, if not only short-term, long-term implications. Throughout all of this, we've seen the shifting of the SEC's chairman from Jay Clayton to Gary Gensler, but no shift in ideology, which is very disappointing for a lot of XRP holders, because we had thought that there was, somebody that supposedly is more knowledgeable of the crypto industry is bound to have a better understanding and better management of a case that's so clearly the SEC is out of jurisdiction and that lacks any clarity and any fairness. Moreover, what's given Ripple over time this sense of winning and sense of being ahead of the SEC in this court case is the fact that the judge seems to be someone very knowledgeable of the case and has been looking at it from a lens very different from any other judge that has managed a case that involves crypto. In fact, her understanding is what has led the SEC to find out that they have no real evidence against Ripple. In previous cases where the SEC was involved in fighting cryptocurrency companies, the judges themselves lacked any understanding. In fact, there are some exhibits that are there that were posted by lawyers, Jeremy Hogan and so on, showing the very lack of knowledgeness in the court system in managing crypto and even understanding the concept of crypto. And I think what's given Ripple really a huge advantage is the judge that they received. And I'm pretty certain that every single lawyer that may speak about this topic will make that very clear, that Ripple is lucky that they've received a judge that's not only knowledgeable but is open-minded and looking to understand this concept. Now we get into the point of a settlement. I've told you why the SEC is on the losing end and Ripple is on the winning end. Keep in mind that about 70% of cases that involved cryptocurrency companies and the SEC have ended in settlement. So this is something that, from the beginning gives XRP holders and Ripple a sense of hope. What's added more to this is that the judge herself, Judge Netburn, has ordered for the SEC and Ripple to join in discussions. In fact, she's made it clear that she hopes that this gets resolved outside of the judicial system. So she wants this to be solved outside of the court system. Moreover, SEC has had a couple of meetings, particularly that involve actual settlements and settlement talk, and they have been talking very recently about putting in this new settlement system where they can settle things almost instantly in real time. How well that plays into this particular case remains unknown, but it is something that they have been talking about more than usual in the last couple of weeks. Not only that, regardless of Gary Gensler keeping this case going and pushing through this case even after his hold of the SEC, he's obviously someone that with a bit more knowledge of this new system, so he may be more open to speaking to Ripple, particularly because there is a bit of a change in party from the Republicans to the Democrats, so he may choose to oppose that vision of Jay Clayton. Adding to that, the Congress has been pushing very strongly to legislating cryptocurrency, which leaves the control of cryptocurrency potentially, and there's a very good chance, outside of the hand of the SEC, which gives them no jurisdiction over this case and all the cases to move forward. So this is another push for a possible unlikelihood, adding the likelihood of a possible settlement. Additionally, the connection that some of the Ripple stockholders and Ripple employees to the administration, the current administration of the United States, particularly to the Democrats and Joe Biden and some of the Senate members, is very high. Recently, Ripple had announced that they had hired Premier Treasurer. She served during the time of Obama and very close to the administration. The time of Obama was the time that currently President Joe Biden was vice president, so she must have had some connection to him and to heads of the Feds and Goldman Sachs. Not only that, she's a very strong proponent of Ripple, and she has made it very clear and public her support for Ripple and her seeing Ripple as a currency, and a currency with a very strong utility and very bright future in the United States. Moreover, over the last couple of days, there has been a change of tune between the SEC and Ripple. In fact, they've both submitted a document to the court system saying their intent for joint motions and for them to discuss within themselves motions of discovery. This means that they are sitting more closely on the table and have begun some sort of discussions in one way or another. Those discussions tend to lead to an increased likelihood of a settlement. We will end with this small fact. Almost all lawyers will tell you that a settlement is usually determined are usually found out at the very end of discovery. The reason that is a big deal is because at the end of discovery, every party sees the evidence and the support that the opponent has. And we're very close to reaching that end of the discovery. Yes, there has been a document requesting an extension of another 60 days, but that document is likely to be declined by the court system. So as we approach the end of the discovery, this gives the final opportunity for both parties to sit together and discuss a possible settlement, and the party that sees themselves on the losing end is likely to bow down to some of the negotiating powers of the opposing party and reach a definitive settlement. Now, this bowing party and losing party, according to a lot of the documentation that has been gone out, and according to a lot of the feedback from the lawyers throughout the United States and some even globally, SEC has been on the losing end of those discovery talks and are therefore likely to reduce the request from Ripple, leading to a potential settlement probably in the coming days and weeks ahead. With that, we will end this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please click that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this content so that we can continue to create other videos for you. See you in the next one.